we like how life parlays you into clearer and clearer wanting. And we love it when you get mad. We love it when you say, I deserve better than I have been getting, and I'm going to do better for myself through focus. And I'm going to work with the laws of the universe. And I'm going to allow myself to discover the power of who I am. And I want to be an extension of source energy. And I want to explore, and I want to sometimes be confused, because without confusion, I wouldn't revel in clarity. And without loss, I couldn't understand the deliciousness of gain. And without hunger, I wouldn't understand the fulfilling, satisfying meal. And without some thirst, I would not recognize how wonderful it is to drink that long, cool drink. Contrast is necessary to the expansion of who I am. Contrast is necessary to the expansion of who I am. And I embrace it. I embrace every aspect of everything that causes me to focus. And now that I know that in my focus, the energy that creates worlds will align with me. And now that I feel when my focus is clear and when it's cluttered. Now that I feel when my focus is productive and when it's unproductive. Now that I feel, I'm willing to let go of all of the specifics of things that just don't matter. I'm willing to let old grudges go and stop nitpicking over things that don't matter, and stop comparing myself to others in some sort of unimportant way. I am ready to live the unconditional love that I came to live, and to focus that unconditional love on me, on me, on me, on me. I'm ready to let source energy show me how source feels about me. And I'm ready to let it manifest through abundance, through connections, through contracts, through ideas, through work. I'm willing to let source display its pleasure in me in endless ways. So we've been talking to you. Have you been listening to us for a while? We've been talking to you for a few years now about this vortex that is a vibrational version of everything that you have become and everything that you want. And recently, we've been talking to you about your point of attraction, because your point of attraction, what's going on with you as this person who is standing here thinking these thoughts and having this experience, your point of attraction, we are affectionately calling your grid. It's sort of like the framework of the building that is put into place with the foundation and the studs and maybe a little bit of the roof. Long before it fills in with all of the details that are pleasing you, there is a vibrational version that is you. So you're standing wherever you're standing, doing whatever you're doing, with whoever it is you're doing it with, thinking whatever thoughts you're thinking about the past or the present or the future. And as you are doing that, you are offering a vibration that we are forevermore going to call your grid. It's your point of attraction. This is what I got going on right now. So the question is, what I got going on right now, is it a match to what's in my vortex? If it is, I'm flying high and feeling good. Or is it a mismatch? I'm feeling ornery, overwhelmed, even depressed about it. Your emotions are letting you know how well you, as you stand here creating this point of attraction, what are you doing about it? Are you a match to what you want? Are you on your journey to where you want to be? Or are you stalled out because you've got resistant thoughts that have got you in a tug of war that is preventing you from having what you want, you see? So you can tell by the way you feel. So here you are. You're human in your magnificent physical experience, and you now know that you live in a vibrational universe and that you are a vibrational emanator, and that you have already sent off these rockets of desires, and there's a larger part of you that is already experiencing the abundance and the love and the satisfaction and the creativity and the zest for life, the passion, the exhilaration that you want. That part of you exists, and so now you have decided consciously that you're going to do your best, as best you can. No perfect records are ever required. To create a grid that allows more and more, hear this, of what's in the vortex to flow to you. So just like it was really fun when you were looking into your yard and thinking about what you wanted, and you drove down the street and you saw your neighbor's yard, and it inspired you to want to do something more, that was the grid filling in. And just like you saw it and then you felt inspired one Saturday morning to get up and drag somebody who didn't want to go with you over to gather up the things, and you took them back. You made a few trips because the more you looked, the more you found, the more you found, the more you wanted. And you brought all that home, and then you spent the afternoon planting it and the satisfaction that you felt. So that was grid filling in, grid filling in, grid filling in. But you had your hands already in it. In other words, that was grid filling in, and you in many ways sort of filling it in. It's easy to take action to fill that grid in. But you've gotten carried away in believing that it is the action that fills it in. And we want to help you to understand that it is not the action that is filling your grid in. It's the mindset. It's the attitude. It's the mood. It's the way you feel. It's what you've been doing with your thoughts. We want you to know that by preparing your grid, by going as general as you need to go to feel good, that you will raise the frequency of where you stand higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until it will mesh with the frequency of what's in your vortex, what's already been assembled, all of those cooperative components assembled vibrationally. And now they will begin to flow into your experience. We want you to salivate at the idea of molding that clay. That's the clay we want you to think of molding just for a while. Hold off in going to the nursery and getting the flowers. Hold off in doing the action things. Hold off just a little bit and try to achieve more satisfaction in molding the vibrational clay. When you wake up, if you're ornery, go back to bed, really. Meditate if you can. Quiet your mind. Do something that pleases you. Do anything you can, any moment that you can. When you realize that you've got some negative emotion going on, do anything and everything you can to soothe it. Give your undivided attention to your grid, to what you've got going on vibrationally, and begin to watch what happens. As you begin to move through your day, seas will part. Now, most of you are not trying to move out into the ocean, and so maybe that's not the best analogy. But obstacles will get out of your way. Traffic will be friendlier to you. The people that are helping you will be more helpful to you. You'll find fewer and fewer resistant and ornery people in your way, sort of in the way and presenting themselves in a way to give you that knee-jerk reaction. And as you begin to notice how your life begins to flesh out with all of these things that feel better and better and better to you, and it's going to happen to you because you couldn't have listened as attentively as you have for these minutes that we've been talking without changing your vibration. So for sure, you're going to see some of these things happening in the days and hours that are following. But as those things begin to flesh out, as you stop and acknowledge, this is as a direct result of the improvement in my vibration. In other words, this is me molding the clay. This is me doing the creative work. This is me being the deliberate creator of my own reality. This is me deliberately affecting the vibration of my grid. This is me deliberately offering thoughts that make me feel a certain way. This is me catching myself in the middle of a thought that does not serve me. This is me. This is me. This is me molding the clay. This is me at the center of my universe. This is me at the center of a cooperative universe. This is me watching all things around me, feeling in around me. This is me, the center of the universe. This is me dictating to all moving forces and all things that exist. This is me saying, this is what I prefer, and this is who I am, and this is what I get. This is me in my worthiest state of being. This is me allowing the blessedness that is me to exhibit it in manifested form. This is me on my way to more and more manifestations, but this is me getting to take credit for the smoothing of the traffic. This is me getting to take credit for the high-flying feeling that I have. This is me. This is me, the creator of my own reality, molding the clay. That's the way you're supposed to feel. That's what you came to experience. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and suffer myself into advantage. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and teach others a lesson. I'll make them understand how really bad they are. I'll make them get off the barn. I'll do it. I'll make them get off the barn, and I'll make them get off the barn, and I'll make rules that never allow them to get on the barn again. I'll make movies. I'll make movies to show how dangerous barns are. And I'll get them in every classroom in the nation, in the world. I want all children to know how dangerous barns are. I do. Esther had a wonderful experience a month or so ago because the pond on the property in Texas was cloudy. It was so beautiful when it was first put in. And for years, this stream comes down many little rapids, and then it goes into another bigger pond, and there are fish in it. So fun to create, and so fun to watch, and so fun to see the evolution of it. And now it's cloudy on this day she is looking. So the people come to evaluate why the water isn't clear. And their first impulse is, well, your filter has been here for many years. Let's replace the filter. So they replace this big pump and filter thing. But it doesn't do anything to clear the water. The pipes suck the water out of the pond into the filter, and then they filter it and take out the impurities and aerate it and put it back into the pond. And it was determined that the pipes that are coming back in were clogged with caliche. It's a Texas soil that's very hard. It becomes almost concrete-like in time. The pipes were just all clogged up. They couldn't chisel it out. They tried for days, trying to put those plumber's snakes in it and all kinds of rods and things, but it just wasn't helping. And so Mark said, maybe we should lay some new pipes on top of the ground. On top of the ground. No point in burying them until we're sure we're right. And so they cut a hole in the building, came right out from the filter, laid the new pipes on the ground, and right away the water started clearing up. It was exactly what was necessary. And it was thrilling to Esther to see such an easy resolution. Really, it was a very easy resolution. And we want to say to you, we think it would be a really good idea if you would think in terms of just laying some new pipes. Because you have beliefs that you've been carrying around that've got you all clogged up. You say, I want more money. But then from your clogged pipe perspective, you say, but I only make this much money, and I've been here for a very long time, and I'm kind of at the top of my ceiling, and I really don't want to go looking for something else. And even if I did, the market isn't really right now. And we say, clogged pipes, clogged pipes, clogged pipes. You just talked yourself out of what you asked for. You want it, but your clogged pipes, in some cases, you've got beliefs that really flow well. Traffic's heavy all the time here. This restaurant always messes with me at the drive-thru. In other words, on some subjects, you're flowing better than others. You just want to determine which subjects it is you want to flow on and which subjects that you are flowing on, which just means you just want to know. Because we want to say to you, you've got vortex versions of your life all over the place, just waiting to reveal themselves to you, depending upon which disc you choose. You get to decide. You get to decide what version of reality you're going to realize. And we love the word realize so much because it's your vibrational interpretation. It's you achieving vibrational alignment with it. We are so pleased with the analogies that we have offered to you through the years. Every one of them to try to help you with step 3 of the process. Every one of them to try to help you to find somehow, some way, to offer a vibrational frequency now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now, until your point of attraction is where you want it to be. And we want you to know that your point of attraction is not where you want it to be if you are chronically worried about something. It's not where you want it to be if you're chronically complaining about something. It is not where you want it to be if you are chronically ornery, if you are chronically negative. It's not where you want it to be. You're achieving, under those cases, vibrational point of attraction that is resonant with stuff you don't want. And everything that's coming to you is because you've achieved some vibrational resonance with it. You never, ever, ever live anything that you don't believe. And a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So a lot of people, you're around the world. We're appreciating you all coming and playing with us today. And those of you here in the room, we know you tell us frequently. We hear you complaining from time to time about this. You're certain that this thing that happened to you was not something that you believed. But that cannot be true. because nothing comes to you that you have not practiced plenty of vibrational resonance with. We're eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. Nothing is off limits. What do you want to talk about? Oh, you've come with some things. Yes, indeed. Oh, there's a lot of trouble in this room. Start right here.